All right. Well, let's got a little bit of time here, so let's get into this.
All right.
Here to bring you some knowledge, it's the Metal Experts. Never in music history have two people been so intelligent. These guys know that Zakk Wylde plays guitar. You gotta be kidding me. Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath? You're yanking my chain, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Britney Spears isn't metal? Man, those guys are brilliant. Here they are, the bastions of knowledge, Professors Mark and John, the Metal Experts.
All right. We've been trying to get to this for like weeks on end.
Sure.
And this apparently was something you felt worthy to bring to the show.
Yeah, although I don't remember. It's been so long. But it's always worthy to bring to the show because they're so stupid.
All right. This was something that was done. Was this 474?
Oh, is this the one with where all three of them are on?
I haven't listened to it, so
just wing it because I'm sure I'll remember.
All right. I just want to make sure this was the right one. All right. Well, here we go.
All right.
Molson Canadian presents Heavy Montreal. August 9th and 10th, outdoors at Park John LaFleur. Featuring Metallica, Slayer, The Offspring performing Smash, and Lamb of God. 3 days of rocket metal featuring Anthrax, Twisted Sister, Bad Religion, Voivod, Dropkick Murphys, Body Count, Hatebreed, and many more. Festival passes on sale now. For the full festival lineup and to purchase your pass, visit HeavyMontreal.com. Produced by Evenco.
Wow.
Wow, that's a very professional commercial.
Well, that I can tell you that announcer guy got buried.
Yeah.
Under the Metallica segment.
Right.
So, you know, if you weren't listening close, you'd miss something.
Of course. Well, that's those two.
Mark Strigl, John Ostronomy, the Talking Metal Podcast, coming to you from the Silver Spacecraft. I'm Bud Friendly, and now your hosts, Mark and John.
Is this a new intro?
That's the usual Talking Metal intro there, with little Murders in the Rue Morgue playing there, and a little Judas Priest before that. That's such a cool mashup there. This is
How come Mark doesn't know his own intro?
I don't know the answer. I don't think these guys. I was checking the iTunes status lately,
okay. Yeah.
and I noticed that the last few of actually for the last 6 months, you know how they put those little hash marks to show how many people listen to it,
sure.
to show the popularity of it. They're like all blank, like totally blank. Go to iTunes and look at their thing, and you'll see that those little. What do you want to call it?
Yeah, it's the popularity chart.
But they're all like blank.
Well, that show's kind of over, isn't it?
It's been like a year ago that they actually showed any kind of reading on that.
The fact that before that it wasn't is the real shocker.
Right.
The fuck is wrong with people?
Sure.
You know who did that? My friend Arun Venkatesh.
no kidding.
I'm just this. Speaking of Mark and John, you're talking to Mark and Victor right now, guys, or listening to us, I should say. We're told John was going to be here at 9:00, but he is MIA right now. I just tried to call him, just tried to texting him again. We are live. Join us when you can.
So John is MIA.
What? Maybe I should start doing it. I'll just let you do the first show, and I'll just come in the first beginning of the show, and I'll just come in whenever I want.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
No pre-planning, no commitment to doing anything. It's just, he's not here.
Yeah, whenever. I'll get here.
Sure.
Is it possible he's on the silver spacecraft on his way to what's Ace's planet, Jendel, or what's his name?
Yeah. It is possible he is on Jendel and out of all cell phone service.
How awkward is this?
It's good. These guys sound like a put together, a perfect team.
Yeah. Well, obviously they're trying to do their show via the Skype.
It's working too. It's fantastic.
How we've been doing this for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
This way.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just now discovering this technology, and it's just like really awkward and it just doesn't mesh.
Well, A, it's not even the real host. B, there's no chemistry between these two, let alone Mark and John.
That's true.
If they're not in the same room fucking knocking down a bottle of fucking something, then there's nothing happening.
Look at Mr. Scary. He's on his way to Uranus, dummy.
It's funny.
But who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I'm gonna crack open my cocktail for the evening. Can you see this guy?
Yeah. Bud Ice, is that?
Bud Ice, yeah. I'm not drinking hard liquor because I'm on medication, and I'm technically not supposed to be drinking any alcohol. So,
Technically, I'm not supposed to be.
I'm going to, but technically that would be bad.
I'm on medication.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm not supposed to be drinking hard liquor. Well, technically, I'm not supposed to be drinking at all.
Right.
But I am anyway.
I'm going to.
Yeah. My cocktail.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Here, go with the Bud Ice, a big one, just one.
What's that, like a 40?
No, it's a 25 ounce.
Figure that close to Newark. I mean, maybe you'd have a 40
that's
go.
true. Yeah, Newark. My good, yeah.
What?
This is great.
What does that have to do with Newark?
I don't know.
A 25 ounce? It's a 40 ounce. Oh, well, you're close 22. To New York, so Newark, so I figured you'd have the 40. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
What does that mean?
Jesus, not good.
Good, my good favorite city, Newark, right down the street from us here in Maplewood. Anyways, yeah, man, I don't know where John is. John is MIA, and this was going to be his return to the live show tonight. We don't know where he is. We don't know if he'll show up. I spoke to him at 7:30, and he was like 9 o'clock right on. John is like, sometimes it's a little weird. He'll come home from work, and he'll go right to sleep, and then he'll wake up at like 3 a.m. and just start working from like 3 a.m. on until like 9 o'clock the next night. Other nights He'll go out drinking. He may have stopped at a bar and completely forgotten about tonight's broadcast. We don't know. We do hope.
That sounds about like the right answer.
I thought maybe they'd go looking in the medians to see if he's sleeping in the median somewhere. Or he went straight to the bar and got obliterated and just totally forgot about us, which that's just John.
Right.
Or he just came home, went straight to sleep, passed out in the drunken stupor.
He joins us soon. Up here, he's just texting me. He says he's getting set up now. He's dealing with an ACE emergency. All right, so we will hear from John shortly. In the meantime, let's get a little business out of the way. You are listening to the podcast of Talking Metal with John, Mark, and Victor, or you are listening.
Except John's not here.
Yeah, well, sort of them three.
Right.
Listening to us on the live stream, which is Live 365. Live 365, the Talking Metal digital stream on Live 365, plays music 24/7, handpicked by Victor and myself for the most part, right, Victor?
Yeah.
And then we do these live Friday night shows on the stream too, which are a lot of fun. Victor produces them, or hand engineers them, I guess I should say, and co-produces them with
hand engineers them.
He hand engineers them.
What does that mean?
You know, he puts them in his hand and he mixes them together. And
basically, we don't really participate in talking metal anymore because Victor just takes it over and just does it.
Victor has nothing to do.
Yeah.
He handles his shit.
He's just been a fan for all these years, and so we just felt what better way to grant a fanboy his dream come true than to just let him take over the talking metal.
Yeah, just let him handle it, and that way we don't have to do anything else except for pander for more money.
Right.
Myself, you can support Victor solo on MarsAttacksRadio.com. He does his own podcast called Mars Attacks, and he has a PayPal account over there. We have a PayPal account on TalkingMetal.com. I haven't gotten a donation in 2 weeks, which is probably a record for a while. So, guys, please, we just brought you some great interviews. Michael Wilton, Judas Priest, George Lynch, a lot of great stuff. I'd love to just get a little bit back from you guys for that.
I would like to get a little back from you.
Yeah, come on.
For what?
Come on, man. I did that for you. You got to do for me.
Yeah. Well, see, I know we had this brief discussion with Bob tonight.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Exactly. I was going to say, who's their manager, Bob?
Yeah, I took a phone call from George Lynch and asked him a bunch of questions. That's got to be worth something to you guys.
You guys got to want to pay for that.
But, and it goes back to what I've said before. What's the money for?
Yeah, exactly.
What, for your time?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what it goes for, because of your time?
Well, we interviewed Tom Hunting tonight. Give us a little bit.
Yeah.
Give us some money. We earned it.
Right.
We made every one of you listening laugh at least once, so that's worth at least $1.
Sure.
Come on. Pay up.
You can afford it. $3, $5, whatever you can afford. Shoot it over. We appreciate the support.
Shoot it over.
Shoot it over, please.
Come on. Empty those pockets, bitches.
Yeah. We barely pay any attention to this thing now, but we should still get paid.
Right. Shoot it over.
Yeah, please, hurry up.
Right.
And also, we're going to talk about the mid-roll survey in a bit. But before I bore anybody to death with any more of this stuff, let's talk about what's going on with Mars Attacks, Victor. Who do you got coming up?
Well, yeah, instead of boring them with this fucking money talk, let's bore them with something else they don't care about.
Right.
Mars Attacks.
By the way, did I mention Victor has a PayPal link over there, too?
Yeah. By the way, you guys can pay over there at Victor's site, Mars Attacks.
Right. It's been 2 weeks since I've had a donation, so I'm kind of jonesing a bit.
Yeah, I'm a little broke right now. That's why I can only drink this one beer.
Sure. So shoot your money over.
Right.
2 weeks has gone by without a donation.
Yeah, why aren't you guys paying me?
Right.
Who do I have coming up? I have Tommy Victor from Prong coming up. Should hopefully be out next week. Actually, hopefully putting out 2 episodes next week to make up for the lack of output these last few weeks. I haven't put anything out in like 2 weeks or so, but just had my hands tied with a lot of other things that I just couldn't take time out to put the other episodes out. But I do apologize. There will be episodes out shortly, and there will be a return to the classic albums column feature, which will touch upon Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. So,
cool.
There you go.
Cool. And Victor, guys, does a pre-show here on Live 365 before the 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Talking Metal live show. And he always, talks up some great songs and plays some great songs. What did we hear tonight? We heard some Pantera, some Alice in Chains, some Motley Crue. What else, Victor?
Yeah, we had some rarities and beasts.
I like when they have some.
Yeah, we had some.
Did they just play like half the song?
Yeah. A little bit of it.
Most of it. Some of the song.
Some of it.
Some. But
basically, he played songs and introduced them. And now we're going to get into another show, and we're going to backfill the show that was on before our show.
Right.
By describing what we did on the show before our show.
Sure.
Good plan.
And the reason he didn't put out, he's been behind in shows,
Yeah.
It's because you people haven't donated any money.
That's right. And he's putting out the Tommy Victor interview and other stuff, the record review. So just throw him a couple bucks.
Look at that little thing from Nathan.
It's funny.
That's what I was going for. We kick things off with a little Iron Maiden in Rainbow's Gold. Some
Nice.
Kiss was originally done by Wendy O. Williams. It's My Life, which was written for her, recorded for her, but then Kiss.
Mark keeps commenting and it keeps interrupting Victor, and he's just cool. Right on. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Huh? Did you say something? What? Huh? Oh. Right on. Cool.
We did it during the Psycho Circus era.
And released it on the Kissology box set, right? Was that what it was? Or the Kiss box set? It was. So that song they'd recorded for Psycho Circus, but they didn't put on Psycho Circus.
Right. There's that track. There's the Ace track, In Your Face, which was...
Just don't have that timing thing down.
At all.
It was either that or Into the Void. I personally think they picked the better track for the album. And
Into the Void, of course, written by Ace and Carl Cochran.
Yeah.
And then Paul Stanley, of course, in some of the Kiss books somewhere. I think it's the booklet that comes with the box set. He claims that he rewrote the backing vocal hooks or something. It's like that's the thing.
Or something. So I want to add to this discussion because I know a little bit about this song. So let me take over, Victor, because you apparently are missing a lot of the important details here.
Well, it is Mark and John.
That is true. All those important details.
These guys stink.
But I think he said that somewhere in one of those books.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Maybe it was the booklet in the CD. I don't know.
But it could have been something else. But you know what I'm talking. You'll just have to look it up.
Google it.
Paul and Gene, it's like they're always trying to if Paul co-wrote little parts of Into the Void, why didn't he just stick his name on it to begin with?
Yeah, I don't know.
The song is clearly, I think, credited to Ace Frehley and Carl Cochran. So I don't understand why they always pull that stuff. I mean, that's one of many songs where they claim, well, I mean, I even think in the Stanley book, he's talking about like Cold Gin or something, and that song is credited to Ace and Gene, but I feel like he throws himself into it. I might be mistaken on that, guys. I'm not sure, but
then why did you even bring it up?
Yeah, why'd you talk about it then, dumbass?
Not even sure? You'll have to look it up.
Let me just tell you, for an absolute fact, that Dokken just did that last album, Broken Bones, and it was sequenced by Neeley. Well,
Right.
maybe. In fact, I don't know. You guys go look it up. What the fuck?
I don't know.
I mean, it's like he makes a statement and then just backs completely off of it.
Right.
What the hell?
Well, it's that whole perception that, hey, I know something about this,
Yeah.
but just in case I'm wrong and you call me out on it, then I can say, I really didn't know what I was talking about. Dave and John's new band, Mega Douche.
Looks like Dave's a little happier there than what you saw last night.
Yeah, he looks a lot younger there, too.
Probably, that's back when Talking Metal got guests. Before they joined the rest of the pack.
Yeah. Poor Dave looked tired.
Yeah, he's probably sick of this shit.
Tired and bored.
He's like, I need a new F5. F5!
Right, exactly.
Hit the spur.
I mean, like I said, he played well, but he just sort of like, it's just a job.
Well, hey, it's a good paying job.
It is. I'm sure it is.
It irks me how they always try to diminish Ace and Peter's role, but and I don't doubt that those two guys, Gene and Paul, have carried the torch for most of the 40 years, but let's face it, the attitude and personalities of Ace and Peter definitely are what Kiss is built upon. maybe not as much as Gene and Paul, but in my eyes, close to it.
But maybe not. In fact, I don't know. You guys go look it up.
The attitude of Peter Criss, and Ace Frehley is what Kiss is built upon.
Yeah.
But maybe more Gene and Paul.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
But then again, that's just my thoughts on that. But I don't know. You make up your own mind.
You guys figure it out. Maybe you can try Google.
Oh, without a doubt. I was listening to a bunch of various Ace songs. I had a playlist that I'd set up that had all of his stuff from the Kiss days that he sung on, then various tracks from his solo output. And there was a solo for, I forget if it was Sister, or I forget what track it was, but just listening to him solo, and it was just so distinct, just his playing and just how it was, and just going back to the older tracks and thinking how, just there's a certain way to how he bends the strings and how he does certain things with the solos. Maybe he isn't Richie Blackmore or somebody like that, but when you hear Ace play, it's Ace. I mean, it's very distinct. And when Peter was on his game, Peter had a flavor, had a certain thing that he did that definitely, pushed the band forward. I think if you really listen to, Alive and Alive 2, whether that was recorded, re-recorded, whatever you want, his playing really pushed all those tracks to another level. And
I don't believe that for a minute.
I don't believe that at all. What is that?
He pushed them to another level.
First of all, there's not even proof that he played on all those tracks. Kiss is notorious for fucking replacing the drum tracks.
And I like the fact that he says, well, he may not be a Richie Blackmore.
Yeah, no kidding.
In other words, he's really not that good, but he's got his own style.
Yeah, he's got his own style. He's like Mick Mars. He's not necessarily good, but you certainly recognize him.
Right. But I like the fact that he's conceding that Ace isn't really all that good.
Yeah, well, John would never do it, so he's got to.
But at least he's identifiable.
Yes, Noise, you did hear Blackmore in the same conversation with Kiss.
Right. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Fuck all that noise. I want to hear what this Ace emergency was about.
It's an emergency.
Yeah, well, guys, but Ace accidentally stapled his shirt to the desk and was trapped for 2 hours, so I had to go over and straighten him out.
That's probably about it, too. Well, we'll see what...
I wouldn't talk bad about Ace. You're going to cut us off from getting an interview with him this time.
Oh, damn. I know you were coveting that.
I really was.
Well, we did miss the last press cycle last time he'd had an album out.
Oh, he doesn't have a new record. Oh, who cares?
Yep, well, they punished us by not allowing us to have Ace on the show.
Gosh. How will you fill the time?
Well, we filled
Hopefully the Mattis Hatter gets another crack at him so that we can fill the time.
Hi, honey.
Hi, honey.
My wife wants to say hello to you.
Hi, honey.
Oh, shit. Well, you can always fill Veronica.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Whoever that is. Fuck you, pal.
Hi, honey.
That is one of the best segments of all time.
My wife wants to say hello to you.
So Ace, what kind of candy bars?
Mars bars.
Do you like ice cream? One of the worst interviews of all time.
You like Mars bars, Ace?
Yeah. Do you like candy or whatever it was?
It was Mars bars.
Yeah. It was that whole interview was just so bad.
I know. Yet they wouldn't let us have a crack at him.
No, because we're mean.
Yeah, because we did something mean.
Yeah. No, because we
made fun of his little dolls CD.
And we made fun of his demos.
Yeah, that's it. His dance record.
Yeah, his dance demos. We made fun of that, so we weren't allowed to have it.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah. Is this Wendell and Chris?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Yeah, well, I'm not real sure about it, but I think it's Wendell and Chris, but I better go look it up.
Well, we actually have an ID where somebody actually says that about us.
Really?
Yeah. All right, Sean, go ahead and knock out a couple IDs for the Classic Metal Show.
Okay. Hey, you're listening to the Classic Metal Show. This is Sean McNabb from Dockin' and Burning Rain. Rock on.
Perfect. That'll work.
Give you
All right, go ahead.
All
right, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, this is Sean McNabb from the Sons of Anarchy, Dockin' and Burning Rain. You're listening to Chris and Wendell on the Classic Rock. I'm sorry, I screwed it up. Classic Metal Show. One more time. Hey, this is Sean McNabb from... Oh, God. Hey, this is Sean McNabb from Sons of Anarchy, Dockin' and Burning Rain. You're listening to the Classic Metal Show with Aiken and Wendell. Rock, y'all.
I don't think...
Nice. I like it.
So there you go, Tim. Does that answer your question?
I think you need to use that one all the time now.
Which one?
With Aiken and Wendell.
Yeah, I know. I cut it all up to where I have all of them.
I just want that one because that's like completely not what we go.
I know. That's what I said. I think that's the first time we ever had anyone say that about
You got it
us.
wrong on both, and you should tag in the Classic Rock Show too.
Right. But that was the funniest thing because he's just trying to muddle.
Yeah, and Sean knows us well.
I know, and he's just muddling through there.
Yep.
See
Love Sean. He's good people.
Yeah, I broke it up here. Here it is. Let's see here. Hang on a minute. All right, here it is.
Hey, this is Sean McNabb from the Sons of Anarchy, Dockin' and Burning Rain. You're listening to Chris and Wendell on the Classic Metal Show.
And then I got this one.
Hey, this is Sean McNabb from Sons of Anarchy, Dockin' and Burning Rain. You're listening to the Classic Metal Show with Aiken and Wendell. Rock, y'all.
I like that one a lot.
With Aiken.
With Aiken and Wendell. You've never been Wendell on the show ever.
No.
And I've never just used my last name ever. You always use your last name.
Right.
I use my full name. Instead, we went totally ass backwards.
Right, that's funny.
Love it.
Yeah. So I broke that up.
Fantastic.
So with Aiken and Wendell.
Aiken and Wendell.
With Wendell and Chris.
Yeah, no Neeley at all.
No.
That's what you get for fucking knowing these guys.
Yeah. Because when I'm with my friends, they call me by my first name.
Exactly.
So my real friends.
Yeah.
Not my fake friends.
Yeah, who's your fake friend?
Everybody who doesn't know me.
Right.
Look at Uncontrolled Noise. Wendell, you rock. You know who's always throwing in the Wendell thing?
Who?
AOR rocks.
Oh, yeah.
He's always throwing that in.
Yep.
Because, it's that familiarity thing.
Yeah, well, he's your boy.
Yeah, I guess. Just think that's funny.
And that time that you guys hung out,
Never.
Never.
That time we never hung out.
Yeah, that time you didn't see each other.
Yeah. I obviously I hung out with Nathan last night.
Sure.
But he was just like, yeah, I know you're kind of a private guy, and I didn't want to weird you out too much.
Nice.
I was just like, what makes you think I'd be weirded out?
I would be. Fucking creepy guy trying to buy me tickets. Hook me up with the black chicks. Yeah, weirdo.
I'll tell you what, Nathan was a good dude. Yeah. Had a good time with him.
So did you email Dominique the white nigger segment?
Stop it.
I'm just asking.
I don't know how to contact her.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You didn't get an email address.
No, I didn't do anything like that.
You get no information.
Nope.
Dude, what's wrong with you?
Nothing wrong with me, man. It's just like, what's the point?
Got to get up on the purple passion, man.
Yeah.
Get up in there.
I've never been a bang 'em and forget 'em, feel 'em, fuck 'em, forget 'em guy.
Well, you can remember them.
Never been that guy.
What's wrong with that?
Well, that's for some people. It's just not the way I operate.
I guess.
Just not the way I operate.
I guess, because Dominique would have got a fucking load of jizz last night if it was me. If she was into me and giving me the whole fucking hug up and all that shit, she would have been banged. I mean, fuck, you're in a place that has a hotel. She would have been banged.
Look at the garbage pail kid.
There's Weird Wendell.
Look at that.
That's funny.
Well, what do you want to do now? We got about 10 minutes.
Go home?
Yeah, I'm done with talking metal. I can't take those two douches.
They stink.
They do. It's just a hard listen.
It is. Let's just go.
Well, what do we got coming up next week?
Next week is John Garcia's back.
Oh.
Yeah, John Garcia will be from Vistacino fame. He will be back talking about his new solo record.
Now, did I hear you right that Vistacino is done for the moment?
That's what he says.
So what happened with the record and the tour and all this and that? It just didn't materialize?
No. I mean, he'll talk about why next week, because I already did the interview.
Well, but see, that's the thing, and I guess we'll get into it a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
When was it that he was just on the show?
Not very long ago.
It was just
a year?
No, it hasn't even been that long. It's only been like 6 months.
Yeah, well, Vistacino was out last year, wasn't it?
It was near the end of the year.
Yeah, because I had it as like one of my top 3 of the year. So it was at the end of the year, but yeah, we had him on, I don't know, not that long ago.
No, let's see, we're in July here, and it came out the end of the year, so that's 7. Yeah. Okay, so it was like maybe 9 months ago he was on the show.
Right.
And so basically it went nowhere.
He'll get into that.
Well, okay.
I mean, I don't want to just give it off.
I get it. I get it. I just didn't know where your line of questioning may have
gone. My line of questioning definitely went there because my exact question was, how can you walk away from the project that you've gotten the best press of your entire career from, which is true with Vistacino.
Yeah.
And he has an answer.
Well, it just goes to show you that it's just a sad state of affairs for bands these days. That I mean, look at Benedictum.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they never really scaled the charts or the height of popularity, but there's a band that's consistently turned out really good product and just can't do anything.
I mean, yeah, they're a great band. Every record is great, and Veronica's reduced to stepping on guys' nuts for fucking money.
Look at that in the Mr. Scary.
That's fucking hilarious.
Is that Flava Flav?
It is.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
And if you're listening on the podcast, haha, you missed it.
Yeah, because you didn't jump in the chat room.
Yep. And we're not going to tell you what it says.
Right. Well, I'm done with the show. I don't know why. I just ran out of gas for some reason.
Tired tonight, too. Fuck it. Let's go.
All right. Well, we want to thank Tom Hunting from Exodus for being a part of the show tonight.
Sure.
Of course, Zetro Souza is now back with the band.
Yep.
And they're going to put out the re-recorded album. Look at that, A Weekend with Wendell.
No, they're not putting out a re-recorded album.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Isn't the new one that they're going to put out the one Rob was doing?
He had worked on it a little bit, but they're not just. I mean, he hadn't done vocals. He had only done vocals.
because when I listened to that Jim Florentine.
Yeah.
Or what's the other guy's name?
Don Jameson.
Don Jameson was doing, I was listening to his show on XM.
Okay.
And he was at Rock on the Range.
Yeah.
And he was hanging out with Rob Dukes. And
Duke said he did all the vocals?
That's what he said on Jameson's thing. He said that after Rock on the Range, they were doing like a few more shows or something. And then he was getting married.
Oh.
And then he was relocating to like Arizona or something because he's like into like some kind of motorcycle racing or drag racing or something.
Building a race car.
Yeah. And he said that he had to make a trip out to San Francisco and go lay down the vocals on like the last 2 tracks or something.
Oh, I did not realize that.
So I made the assessment or the assumption that the record that Exodus was going to put out with Rob is probably going to be re-recorded with Zetro's vocals.
I know Zet did them. I know Zet is done, but no, I was not aware of that.
Well, that's what he said on Jameson's show.
I know the album is called Blood In, Blood Out, and it's coming soon.
Right.
Like I think September.
So that's all I know. That's at least that's what he said. So I just assumed that the record was just about in the can.
Yeah. So I don't know. Whatever. We'll find out.
And you'll know. And you know what's going to happen, right?
What?
They'll put out the one with Zetro. Then they'll go tour, and then they're going to have like a deluxe edition with the songs that
Dukes did.
You know.
Well, I sure wish Anthrax would get that idea. I would love to hear the Dan Nelson versions of fucking worship music.
Sure. Well, that'll probably end up seeing the light of day sometime. Because that was totally finished.
Yeah. So
well, it's just like when Wade Black was with Crimson Glory,
right?
And oh yeah, who was that? He was with Leatherwolf.
Right.
And they replaced his vocals with John what's his name?
Not John?
No, not him. Olivier, is that how you say his name? Olivier? I
don't know. Anyway.
But same thing.
Right.
Got a finished record and replace it with the original guy's vocals.
Nice. Fantastic.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. Sorry it wasn't a more peppy show.
It was fun.
It was fun. I had a good time, but it was just a lot of guests tonight.
Yeah, well, you know, that fucking Bob Nalbandian talking about nothing. You guys should take fucking PayPal. Right, we get it. You think we should be paid.
Don't pick on Bob.
I'm picking on Bob.
Bob's a character.
Character needs to be picked on.
Right. All right. What should we get out of here with?
Robin's Song by Union. That's mellow.
Yeah. Haven't had any John Krabby on the show.
Yeah, not in a while.
QRSTU UV Union. There we go.
Yep.
All right. Well, here's the
first album.
Right. That would be The Blue Room, or just the self-titled.
Self-titled.
There we go. And Robin's Song is the last song.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll be back next Saturday with John Garcia of Vistacino. I guess he's going to talk about his solo record.
He is.
Yeah. So,
and mark your calendars. For 2 weeks from tonight, we will have the Mighty Judas Priest on the show, because we don't get big guests, as Tim James pointed out. Okay. And yeah, it'll be them with I actually invited and had our good buddy Jim Bartek step in and ask a couple questions.
Okay.
So little fan interaction with Judas Priest.
Nice.
So thought that might be something fun and different.
Sure.
I just love. Did I sent it to you? Didn't I?
What's that?
The interview.
I think so.
You got to hear that when Jim asks his first question.
No, actually, you did not send that to me.
I did with the accept.
Oh, okay.
Jim goes, "Hey, man, Jim here."
Jim here. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I know you."
Oh, hey, Jim.
Yeah, glad you could join the interview.
So funny, man, because Bartek was just all nervous, and he's like, "Hey there, Jim here." Too great.
Is this Richie? This is Jim.
Hey, Jim here.
Nice.
Too funny.
All right. Well, let's get out of here. I'm going to hit the rack. I don't know. I'm just tired.
Yeah, I'm ready for some sleep too. I only slept a few hours today and no nap, so
yeah.
Tired too.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave you with Union, and this is Robin's Song. So until next Saturday night, this is Neeley or Wendell
That's Wendell.
With my good friend
Aiken.
We're out of here.
Bye, kids.